Flipping through the dial, had watched the news in a while. Turn on CNN, ain't see none of my friends. Swag gave me the blues, they never walked in my shoes. They want us living in fear, it ain't what I'm trying to hear. Switched it over to Fox, kept clicking, I barely stopped. New guest on NBC, no one that represent me, so I got tired of waiting. Sit master debate, give me some headlines, it must be past bedtime. Sleeping on me still like I ain't vitamin D for real. Rep your city, play devil's advocate. Wayne Brady gon' have to smack a bit. Tell me something good, a recipe for success. Give me some timeline, shop session and flight deck. Hey, P, what's next?
It be just sound like me, you know what I mean? But I ain't got no enemies, I feel like any nigga won't smoke with me, know what the fuck it is. GSH Season 2 Episode 7. Met the cool little freak, and let's say about a year ago, she won't be my main. I wasn't trying to hit though, going with the flow, trying to get out them panties, but be gone when the sun come out tomorrow like Annie. We was chillin' in the club, conversating, vodka sippin', had her gone, all the swag, but I just started catch a feeling. Look tonight, look appealing, but the future looking murky. Hurt me, work me, then I'm gone. Is that dirty? Hoes on our dick, haters worry about what we do. I've been going hard as fuck, the flow just be the sequel. Niggas spin crack, nigga, everything be lethal. Nigga front of 6, swear I do it for my people. Got so many flows, I be sitting on shit. Pop out the whip and I pull me a bitch. Pop out your lane and I empty a clip. Another one in the chamber, I sent you a gift. Christmas, Merry, Magic Larry, 80s baby. I go crazy in the kitchen, in the stew. Baby, what you trying to do? Ooh, I bumpin' classic T.I. and that mistake shit from Gua. Bitches on my dick and I swear that bitch a ooh-ah. Tell her give me head and then I send that bitch to ooh-ah. Ooh, baby suck a nigga dick or something. Bumpin' Juicy J and 3 Mafia. I'ma need that walk to get my sloppy, That just facts. Printer, machine, whatever, copy, Hey, this your nigga C.O.D. the Cater Boy Music, man. Season 2, Episode 70. Give me some headline, man. And I'ma make y'all nigga wait on this shit, man. I will talk to leave him one more.
It's your boy, P. Henry Trotter the Fourth, a.k.a. Home Run Trot, a.k.a. Casino P, a.k.a. Mr. Lone P, a.k.a. Mock Tube, a.k.a. Quinn with the pen and with the lens, a.k.a. Frederick _ Thugless on your IG, a.k.a. Chef Boy RP. See the chef coats by the coalition, by the dynamic duo in the kitchen, a.k.a. your grandma's favorite house guest, because that boy got manners. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 7070 of Give Me Some Headlines. And you know I don't do a damn thing without the damn committee riding co-shotgun. What it do, my guy?
Yeah, know what it is. This your nigga C.o.d. in this bitch for another episode of Give Me Some Headlines. You talking about goddamn everything. I cook THC infused because I'm going to be high in that thing because I'm going to do what it do in my cool athletics Gator Green bucket. You feel what I'm saying? Cole and fuck out here. How you doing this week, my dog?
Man, we out here, dog. We out here. Man, we are looking at 2 Mondays away from the first Monday night football game. Like, life is good. Life is there. We did our own football intro theme song too. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Pirates. I don't know how Decatur did their first game, but the Pirates had a DB walk-off win, interception return for a touchdown. They won the game in their first game this season. Yeah. Shout out to them Pirates. Shout out to them boys down there. The Bay Buccaneers. And you already know what this is. I forgot to give you one of the nicknames. This is a Spike P joint. So your boy coming from the driver's seat in this one. We both in the driver's seat, but I'm on the left-hand side. Cuz on the right-hand side.
I'm DJ passenger seat. Call it what it is. This your vehicle this week, G. Yeah, me.
man.
You got that thing, man. Spike P joint. I'm just getting high in the passenger seat. Don't ask for my ID, officer.
How your lunes go today?
Man, it was decent, man. Got a sign from the universe to slow my ass down, so I'm gonna heat it and actually take that medicine. You feel what I'm saying? Cause niggas sometimes will look at things not happening as fast as they want to, and spinning the chaos as a result. And I just got down, check my speed, utilize the time I have to do things I would do with that time and maximize. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a slowdown Monday, even though I wanted it to be action. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I got other things on my to-do list that I have shifted up in the priority list just to maximize the allocation of my time. Right. But other than that, man, it was a pretty slow motion. How about your Monday, man? How was it?
It was solid.
That lunes for you non-Spanish speaking nigga.
Yeah, it was solid, man. We woke up this morning, like took the puppy butt for a walk, like super early, like 5:30. Yeah, we got up like real early and took the puppy butt for a walk, man. We just walked around. And thankfully we did that because we got back 10 minutes after we got back, it started raining. So that was perfect.
Yeah.
And then like just float into the day, man. Got some new libros. That's books for the non-Spanish, for the non-Espanol speakers out there.
That nigga don't like reading my book. That's why we ain't do to give me some headline.
You ain't read
bullshit
man,
book club. That's what I meant to say. I read a fat chunk of that slave book. That's the one that derailed me.
Well, yeah, we gonna get back on that wagon though. It's already it's already in the works. But yeah, man, it's been a solid Monday, bro. Got into the old job, did my thing, and made that bread. Read a little bit of the book that I've been reading. It's a book called Build the Second Brain. And it's for somebody who has trouble. I'm really good at making notes, really bad at compiling those notes into a way or prioritizing those notes to use them at the right time. Like everything that you read, everything that we consume a lot of different stuff, and people may say, oh, you over consuming media, blah, blah, blah. It ain't that you over consume any damn thing. It's just like, maybe you don't need it right now, but it's sending stuff to like your future self and then prioritizing that shit. So I got a good start on that guy. But yeah, man, been a solid ass day, man. It was a slow down day for your boy too. Like you want things to happen faster.
People don't account for basic human necessities changing. Like back in the good old days, if you needed like construction shit and groceries, you had to go to 2 stores. Back in the good old days, if you needed information, you may have to go to the library to look that shit up. That time spent going to and from the library is just Googling. That time is used for entertainment. So we consuming more than ever because we have maximized our autonomy or our free time in a way that people haven't had. That's been the greatest advent of technology, is maximizing your free time and streamlining mundane processes.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly how that go. But yeah, man, y'all see my dog came into this thing with these bars, man. With that, hold up, it's Kirby, or is it Kirby? Kirby Freestyle.
Shouts out to the homie Kirby on YouTube, where we getting off a lot of these blickies with give me some give me some headlines, and some of these freestyles we giving y'all week to week is gonna be like jacking for beats. Like last week we slapped up that Kodak Love and Ward. This week we shouted out Kirby, who I think this beat was called you know how nigga be like Megan Thee Stallion type beat, this type beat. I forget exactly what it was, but I shot my dog the link so we can link the actual beat in the comment to the show, because I didn't go purchase this joint. He said for free use, go use that bitch and shout me out. So Kirby, that's exactly what we doing, my dog. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who love that ASAP Ferg, that Juicy J, that 3 Set Mafia feel, that crunk, that bounce, that twerk music. My nigga got crazy beats, and we gonna spotlight producers out there a bit with these freestyle Mondays that we do on Fridays and get y'all on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Square bitty, babe. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's bars all through that thing, man.
Shouts out to the brother Firby Kirby. Firby Kirby. Firby Kirby. We gonna shout you out on social too, my dude.
Also, fire ass name. Like when you talk about
and for any producer who here, y'all should shout it out on here. We dropping these freestyles for to give me some headline community on the show and shit. There may be like some mixtape months and months from now with a bunch of the cooler freestyles. But if you hear any freestyle and want it to showcase your beat, let me know and I'll shoot that to you. If you hear anything, you be like, man, do something for real to that right there and send it to me. Let me know and I'll send it to you so you can use it for promo and shit like that. We rising tide raise all boats and we know we got the wave over there, bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Square bitty, man. Square bitty, man. Shout out to Firby Kirby, like my dog said. And yeah, bro, we I'm jealous. Like I told my dog, because I got to hear that freestyle during the show meeting yesterday. And I was like, man, I ain't came with a freestyle since the Damian Marley joint we did. I think that was first season. Yeah, because we use
finale to season 1.
And now we use it as the intro song to season 2. So yeah, that was the last time and we we done doubled up.
We done doubled up. 4th quarter Pete. What's that?
No, my next show we will have doubled up. So first season was 36 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
You might be right.
Yeah, and then by the time it's my show again, we would have been doubled up. So, which also maybe, I don't know. Me and my dog got to talk about it. This is something we ain't talked about, y'all. This is legit riffing, but 18 and 18 is 36.
Season 1, 32 episodes. Season 2, 32 episodes.
Oh, it's 32 episodes?
Yeah, you got to count like the Christmas special. We did different little surprise things.
Okay, then that's
so
bit. So that's what's up.
So we 32 in. We got to step our game up.
Okay, then. But I said that so we may need to make, I don't know, we haven't even decided how we're going to split up seasons. Like that shit just happened. We decided, I think it was the end of the year.
So we said the season will be when the year start, just like with football and shit. We'll start a new season. The episodes will keep counting.
Yeah. Square damn bitty, man. Did you have you thought about that the takeoff yet?
Yeah.
You gonna stick with that joint?
Nope. It's your boy, C.o.d. the Cater Boy Music, bringing you another fliggity flight there. You know what I'm saying? And that's my dog PJ. Let y'all know, you never know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about on these bitches. I told him one thing, but it's really gonna be another, cuz. And it's funny, bro. And today we gonna talk about self.
Okay.
His esteem. You feel what I'm talking about? With a real masculine adjective. Self-esteem. Because one of the conversations I hear on the internet with niggas who want to argue with women, and that's not my goal at all. I have no desire to antagonize the opposite sex, only sex the opposite sex. But something I hear them going back and forth about is one of the things is like self-image and the impact they have on people. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the way I'll relate this to you is under the premise of this right here, cuz. If a woman sees herself as the goddess she should, she is going to have extremely high self-esteem.
Yeah.
If you ask a woman to rate herself on a scale of 1 to 10, and she says she's a 10, there is no room for improvement. You understand what I'm saying? You see the problem in the dynamic that caused?
I understand it.
No dude is really going to say, I'm a 10. No matter how confident he is, there's a level of self-awareness that will attach itself to how he evaluates himself. Usually because no matter how far along he is in his path, He sees someone who is on a plateau or on a level he'd like to get to, and he's using them as the threshold to climb to. Famous actor niggas be talking about how they trying to get on their Denzel shit or on their Morris Chestnut shit. You feel what I'm saying? Nah. I feel like Jamie Foxx know he not Morris Chestnut. You dropped out the Zoom at the show?
I mean,
okay. I can hear that you were saying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So basically what I'm saying is, said all that to say this, bro. Straight up, top to bottom. No innuendo for sure. What you rate yourself scale of 1 to 10, G?
I'm a solid ass 6.
6?
Yeah. I ain't. I'm nowhere near my final form. Yeah. I'm a good 6. I probably give myself a good 6.3. Close to the. By the end of the year, I might be closer to 6.4, 6.5. But yeah, I'm not even close to my final form yet.
How tall are you, P?
5'11" and 3/4. Not quite 6 foot.
Okay. I thought you was gonna go ahead and claim 6 foot.
Nah.
You are also right on the. Put it like this: women be talking about looking for 6'6", 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches of dick. That puts you in the top 1% of men, cuz if you meet all three of them, 10%, excuse me. So like 100% of women looking for 10% of men. And we're not even gonna add in whether or not you're college educated. That puts you into a smaller group. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna keep going through the different classifications. And because this is a family show, I ain't gonna go into the other things in the 666 that I pointed out. But think about how many of those you classify as, or how close you check the boxes on all of those. And then think about the fact that you ranked yourself a 6. When that puts you in the top 10% of men. You understand what the fuck I'm saying to you, P?
That's interesting.
You in the top 10%, or either right down on the outskirt, you top 15% of men, and you see yourself as a 6. So think about how much work you still feel like you have to do. Now, in a free field and scheme of dating and dealing with each other, the expectation of one another, you feel what I'm saying? If you ask a person of the opposite sex what a real man is, they got a definition for you. If you ask them what a real woman is, I've said this as my hypothesis for a long time, they describe themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no work to be done. There is no progress to be had. Finished product. And I feel like that has a lasting effect. You feel what I'm saying? And I just kind of wanted to open the discussion to have that open conversation about where you saw yourself, and kind of see how that reflected itself back on the larger conversation. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, in these scenarios, I'd be waiting for you to throw the question back in my face. You know what I'm saying?
I was waiting for that space. Yeah. I was waiting for the space.
Okay, well, let me shut up and allow that to happen, because I don't want you to be like, let me tell you about me, because I'm sexy than a motherfucker.
Yeah, I was about to, I'm going to throw it back up. But what would you have yourself at? Because I put myself at a 6, and I was wondering, well, damn, and I don't know where that study came from, where you pulled that information from, which is not totally relevant to me, but because I only judge myself off myself and like my standards, and like not everybody else, like any other study of who I am and what I am. Also reading a book by Anthony DeMello called Awareness, and it is that shit, boy. It's like, man, it's looking yourself in the mirror in some pages that don't have a mirror in them or no glass. But where you got yourself at, man? Like, what do you rank yourself on that? If we're using that scale of 10,
dead air, bro, straight up.
Yeah.
Because I still got work to do, I say about an 8.
Okay.
And I say I'm a couple months from double digits, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm by my birthday, I'll be double digits.
And is that 2 coming? Is it okay if I ask you where that 2 stems from? And is it from I know what we talked about this in the show meeting yesterday, but I want to let the people know you are on a journey of sorts. Do you care to share where the extra 2 points is going to come from, or are you going to leave that up to you going to show up brick shit house? And
if I could be, I'll be transparent. The 2 points come from 2 different places. One source will be feeling like I'm in the first level of going Super Saiyan in my physical form, because I'll be at the 8-pack stage.
Yeah.
And the other one is I will have, for longer than I have felt, you know what I'm saying? Not remembered, but longer than I have felt in unrest, have been at peace going into my birthday. It's a date marker of a place of a level of consciousness, a level of peace, a level of serenity, a level of autonomy of self, and the way through which I navigate life that I have been wildly confident in, that has paid dividends. And that point comes from me having echoed resonance of the man I am and feeling worthy to be a leader. So that other point come from feeling like I never have to go back and forth with a woman about how things work with us, because the man standing in front of her will garner the type of energy I deserve. And it has literally manifested in every way for me to not believe anything counter to what I'm saying to you. So I feel like that other piece hits a sustainability marker. It's like the anniversary of a mental state worthy of being coveted, I guess. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like bitch, you want to fuck my brain, kid. Nah, I'm talking shit. But in all seriousness, and I've had this said, but like my frame of mind is in a sex ass place, and it don't buoy. So going into that point, I feel like the level of consistency that I will be able to show my partner or anybody I deal with, regardless of what I get from them, will increase my sexiness through the fucking roof, which it already has. But I'm saying that consistency, I have a level of confidence that it ain't going nowhere. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with crazy motherfuckers, and when dealing with crazy motherfuckers, I have simply walked away and chose health. In the situations where I was truly building with someone I cared about, I have never had a relationship end for any other reason than they wanted to move to marriage, and I felt like there were things that still needed to be addressed, and our timelines didn't match up. I have never just done a woman wrong. You understand me? I feed and I bleed and I give and I love into my partners. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And beyond that being a central part of who I am, the level of health I'm able to maintain and the sustainability. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about a nigga burning out. You ain't got to worry about a nigga getting to the end hero, because I ain't going to let you hang a nigga. You feel me? Man, you got this much shit. That's like shit. I said all that shit, then I'm going to fuck it up at the end. I tell a bit dick. Nah, but that's one piece is physical, the other piece is mental. And that's why I'd say I'm an 8. But like, as far as like cuteness and all that kind of shit, bruh, like, it ain't no level of working out that's gonna make me feel any cuter than I did when I was 333. The cheeks, the teeth, all that shit. You can tell me shit about me. You feel what I'm saying? I probably would have said 10 back then because I was mentally unhealthy and didn't see all the work in progress I needed to do to be a man worthy of saying some shit like that. But yeah, man, it ain't at all having to do with self-esteem so much as it is what I know myself to be putting out into the world and what I feel like the world deserves of me.
So it's more of a self-awareness and a self-actualization rather than
Hell yeah. It's like I had been in this fucking cocoon for so long, and I kept telling myself I was a butterfly, but I wouldn't go outside and flap my wings. And then I went outside and went, and I've been flying around for long enough to claim butterfly at that point. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think
Ain't
that's
a
a good,
caterpillar no more at all. I'm at my 4th instar. I'm a whole nother bug in this bitch.
and I think that's a nice insight for like for the community to hear is that your sense of self-worth, and like even though it may be a perception that needs some adjustment, but even for young ladies to believe in themselves and think that they are, or believe that they are the actualization of what a real woman is because it's all about self, and is having that also that self-awareness of what you want or what you expect. And because like we all are in some sense or another like the main character in our we are the main character in our own movie. We're not the main character in somebody else's movie, and everybody else is not going to treat us like the main character in their movie, and some people treat other folks like the main character in that movie. Like I mean, we there's a recent album by a young lady that came out, and her fan base, a lot of them treat her like she's the main character in their movie, or they aspire to be like her. And there are dudes who aspire to be, like you said, other dudes that aspire to be like other people, but I feel like it's more of an insight to say,
that, OG?
What's that?
When I reference that difference between men and women, part of why I talk about the self-esteem connection to self-awareness is that they're not mutually exclusive. A part of why it's important that I talk about women, when you ask them that 1 to 10 question, no matter what their physical aesthetic is, you get a lot of 10 answers. It's because when they think about that, they relate it to their self-esteem and not self-awareness. They don't go to the landscape for self-awareness. And the reason I relate that back is in dealing with each other. Men will often rate themselves more reasonably. You feel what I'm saying? So say that from a standpoint of they're going self-awareness. And when you go to interacting with each other, it's because when a man interacts with a woman, he has to interact with her from a focal point or from a viewpoint of her being a fully formed woman who don't necessarily need to change a goddamn thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When a woman interacts with a man, in almost every walk of life, that man has some more motherfucking growing to do. Even I could say all I want to. I'm not a father yet. So any woman who sees anything in me will have to see the potential of what I will be as a father. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you evaluate me as a man, you also have to evaluate me for what I'm not. But that 10 you give yourself from your self-esteem is the same 10 a man will give himself as seeing himself as a man, even though if he rated himself, he'd be like, I'm a 6, I'm a 7. I got a lot of shit I need to get together. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he a man like a motherfucker 10 out of 10 from how he view himself as self-esteem, because a woman, because of what they are, when I talk to you about that godly being, they go 10 and it's nothing to think about. Like, nigga, I create life. Fuck you, 10. We done talking. You feel what I'm saying? And no nigga should really have anything to goddamn say about that. But when it comes to interacting with each other, a man admitting his flaws, knowing he a 6, knowing he a 7, knowing he a 8, knowing he got work to do, knowing if he get the bag, if he get this, he got all the bread in the world, he needs to give more of his time, his energy, and himself as a man to his family. Kobe talked about some of these struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you could check all these boxes and feel like a failure as a father. You're a 5-time champion and feel like I ain't shit. Like, if I gave myself to being a father the way I did the basketball, imagine what the love my children would feel. These are the type of things that the Mamba was spitting. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Kobe Bean felt less than as a man. He wouldn't give himself 10 out of 10 when he was looking at himself in the mirror. And that's what I talk about. So when you're looking at the potential, beef up that 10 out of 10 that he need to see in this. So, and know that a lot of these niggas doing their bitching and immature shit come from a place of them being in a world where the world ain't gonna tell them that 10 out of 10 shit in no way, shape, form, or fashion or walk of life. And from an effort standpoint, the melanated ones is gonna get told they gotta try twice as hard to get half as far. And they're gonna evaluate themselves as half as far and think that's what you see. because a lot of life is results based. You feel what I'm saying? So as men try to be what they aren't, they got to get that 10 out of 10 energy to feel like they getting hit by the sunlight to continue to grow in a lot of ways, man. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of what I talked to you about is this being in the cocoon and this growth phase. A lot of this happened in solitude. And I feel like a lot of my brothers do the bulk of their growing in solitude. And we're in a world where, because of the way relationships develop and people don't really settle down at a young age, a lot of a man becoming the man he needs to be for his family, whether it be his woman and his children or his extended family going back and up. Because whether or not you have children, you end up becoming a backstop for your family as a man and not being able to pour all of your financial and energy resources into yourself. Because, oh, that nigga ain't got kids. If it's a crisis, lean on him type shit. To grow into that fully formed state, man, too many of us have had to do that in solitude, and with relationships and family dynamics changing, we still have to be the resource we've always been while not having nearly the amount of nurturing that we used to. Yeah. And this is just, you could call it whatever. This is just a little punk ass boy saying, hey, man, throw some of that wetness, throw some of that sunshine, man. Bless us with some of that BWE. Just like y'all like that big dick energy, we like that big womb energy. A woman whose energy make us feel like anything planted in them will grow into something beautiful. And we will respect that. If we plant fuck shit and mistrust and deceit, it's going to grow into us getting fucked up. But if we plant grind, if we plant hustle, if we show what the fuck we bout, that shit gonna grow into something beautiful through the love that we have with you. That BWE will get you way further than you think. Big womb energy. Flight deck. S02E70. You know time back. Y'all thought that was gonna be some other shit, man.
Square beat it, man. And
we need y'all and we love y'all. That's all I'm saying, ladies. I know that was a little bit tense, but if y'all stayed for the whole ride, I appreciate you. Hopefully you got something out of it.
Yeah. That's why we need to bring back Mental Health Monday, because I feel like that would be a great addition to
How you feel about the switch up? I threw a curveball because I don't like to prepare you for them type of combos.
Yeah, you don't. But yeah, it's good time. Not at all. They always catching P by surprise. But can I do you a favor?
It's gonna be a drunk day. Pete. Could you give me could you give me some headlines?
That shit took forever. That was struggling. That was funny. Oh, that hurt me.
Oh, I'm gonna get that time stamp. I'm definitely putting that on the tank.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good time. Our first headline comes from Forbes.com. Dallas Cowboys are the first franchise worth $8 billion.
Damn.
Our second headline comes from Fox Sports. Tour within a tour. PGA set to copy Liv's model as details from Tiger's secret meeting emerge. Ooh. And then from Action Network.
I felt like you left space. I was supposed to do some silly shit. My apologies if I broke the flow.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just leaving. Yeah, I was leaving some space for that headline to sink in there before I moved on to the next one.
Appreciate it.
And from Action Network, NFL preseason trends, home teams make betting history in 2022. So the first headline is Dallas Cowboys are the first franchise worth $8 billion.
Shout out to Jerry.
Tour within a tour. PGA set to copy Liv's model as details from Tiger's secret meeting emerge. And Action Network, NFL preseason trends, home teams make betting history in 2022. 2022.
Well, you know, we GSH home of the players shit. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Big Jerry out there doing big buck shit. Because people forget this man is a business man and he is the owner of that football team. And people keep going, he ain't won the Super Bowl in 25 years. How many of the Falcons won in that? How many of the Falcons won in 30? Because if you change it to 30, he say 3. How many Miami won in 30? Because if you change it to 30, he could say 3. Both of them still got to say 0. The Eagles, they get to say 1. The Rams, they get to say 3. He get to say 3 and 32. Like, shit. He a business man, and his business is the highest valued that thing in the world, regardless of what type of sport. Shouts out to the homie Jerry. We ain't gonna take the Jerry Schland out here because we back them cool athletics. Gator Green Bucket. You feel me? And
them Gator Greenbacks.
You got to do that top on that thing. I was saying that nigga that clip. He gonna be like, this nigga a lunatic. But I got to figure out what LT grade back because we about that golf out here. You know what I'm saying? We got our massages. We gonna stay limbered up and we gonna get that bag, you feel me? And we also about innovation and doing things how we would do it with the resources that are at hand. Fuck tradition. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for the PGA to be trying to grow instead of get Ubered like the taxi business did, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Liv woke them up. Let's see what they gonna do in response. You feel? For everybody who don't know, Liv is a group out of the, you know what I'm saying, Middle East, you feel me? Saudi Arabia, I believe. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. Saudi
Out of Saudi Arabia.
Saudi have big bags.
Yeah, they have a huge business fund that they allocate for different things like this to bring different events to the country to raise the legitimacy of the country on the world stage, really to foster bigger business. You know what I'm saying? You had them come to this joint and then you pop your bigger business shit once you get them there. Just like Qatar doing it with the World Cup and shit like that. But that's what it's about. That's why they trying to get niggas like Tigray and Phil Mickelson over there because this put them on the stage with America, some of the greatest athletes in the world. You feel what I'm saying? So let's hear how the PGA Tour trying to maintain their autonomy and keep their business, the big business that niggas is doing. You feel?
Yeah, and at this show, we told y'all in the beginning, we you come here for information. Like we telling you things that we get from reputable sources, and we giving you our opinion. But like usually we don't take a side too often, unless it's like Lamar Jackson. We on Lamar Jackson's side
every time.
That just is what it is. But with Liv is dope because the Saudis they coming for all of the things that generate like that you think are or you see as traditional or American. Like they coming for that shit. So they doing a lot of crazy shit with art. They doing a lot of innovative things and like in the home ownership space, the city that they working to build is like $1 trillion city or some shit like that.
Trillion. I seen that Glass City.
Yeah, the Glass City.
They just saying, look at the cool shit we think about.
We think about at the same time. That's some very cool shit. It's like living in the ant bed, essentially.
What they trying to hire for an alien invasion so they can turn that bitch to look like the desert, turn on the cloaking technology. They gonna see that big ass heat signature and come blowing through that motherfucker in a rocket. Hey, you talking about?
Yeah, it's interesting. Didn't say
hire for an alien.
Yeah, but
he said it. I ain't say that.
Nah.
They know who voice just said that. Come on, I'll just fucking with you.
From Fox Sports, Tour Within a Tour. PGA set to copy Liv's model as details from Tiger's secret meeting emerge. As more of the best golfers in the world prepare to ditch the establishment and join the Live Golf Series, the PGA Tour could fight fire with fire by creating a tour within a tour with their own 60-player no-cut fields featuring $20 million prize purses. The concept was reportedly flagged by Tiger Woods during his secret meeting with 20 of the PGA's best remaining players last week in Wilmington, Delaware, ahead of the BMW Championship. It comes as a response to the Live Golf Series, the Saudi-backed league, which is headed by Australian golf great Greg Norman and is splitting the golfing establishment in two, who are offering ridiculous joining fees and $25 million purses for events and no cuts in their 48-player fields. According to Alan Shipnuck for the Fire Pit Collective, which I tried to get the Fire Pit Collective, but my browser wouldn't let me get there because it said they were trying to steal my information. But shout out to the Fire Pit Collective. They come up like they really dedicated to this golf shit. Shout out to them. But according to Alan Shipnuck for Fire Pit Collective, Woods has taken it upon himself as a self-appointed shadow commissioner to reshape the PGA Tour in an attempt to ensure more players are content with the establishment. Woods and the 20 top players he assembled to discuss the formation of a tour within the tour, up to 18 no-cut tournaments featuring the top 60 players competing for $20 million purses, Shipnuck reported. And so this is TGL is the name of that league that they are creating, and it is a partnership between like the two biggest names are Rory, who and just Tiger. Won the FedEx Cup by coming from behind by about 8 strokes to win that joint, and then Tiger, and then there's another guy that they got going along with them that's like kind of like the CEO, but they are set to kick that thing off in January. I think it's January 2024 or whenever the 2024 season gets kicked off. But yeah, man. So like this is super interesting because I feel like this is the sport. Like if all you need is the golf courses and you need people to go along with you. And you got to have the money to back it. And the Saudis got that in spades, man. And so for Tiger,
interject a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
A big part of this new league, guys, for anybody who hasn't been attracted to traditional soccer, a big part of this new league is that the field will be much smaller and you'll be guaranteed to see each of the names in the tournament throughout the entirety of the tournament. And it's structured to where every single shot will be live. So if the mother golfer 71, you see 71 strokes, the tension, every like a football game is 3 hours with 21 minutes of action. So imagine getting to see every single stroke of a golf event. It's the same as seeing 71 snaps on offense, because that's about what you get in a football game. So it's going to take the actual thematic element of it and ratchet it up. And if you go check out the homie Tiger and Rory on Instagram, they've been playing out these really cool test shots with drone shots. Tom Brady swung by as well. Check out Tom Brady on Instagram. They're testing out these really cool drone shots. The cinematic nature of this league is going to change the way the PGA is shot. Like they're gonna have to change the way people get to follow on the course, because drones is gonna be it's about to be wild. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be for the bros. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to yell and scream. Like this gonna be some fun shit to go to.
And that's the thing, is like one of the things they're trying to do is change that. They want to get away from that non-traditional, because boring, like golf has been boring, and like a lot of folks don't want to get into it because it's so boring.
Thank you,
and
soccer.
Like not
in America for proving you could keep it hooligan but keep it classy. Atlanta United champions.
Shout out to Atlanta.
You can keep it hooligan while keeping it classy. Hula-hassy. You know what I'm saying? Hula-hassy. You feel what I'm saying?
And it's all like I'm super interested in like you hear us week to week talking more and more about golf and like incorporating like these golf stories, because it's a space that I find near and dear, but like it's really hard to get into a space when you don't see people like you in that space. And like since we came together in 2007, man, and we got access to the golf course on our campus at our college, man, like it's been a growing part of our lives, and to get more kids involved in that joint is important. So I bought a drone and been testing. I got to test it on the golf course last week, looking into buying a Sprinter van, and so we can go to more tournaments and shoot footage and to like build our own, like to be out to go to these events and not just hold our own tournaments, but go to these events and then
whoop their ass.
Whoop their ass, and also be able to capture that footage and be our own reporters and get to tell stories. You know, we want to tell everybody's story out there, not just the guy who in the lead. Like, we want to, if a guy go out there and shoot 17 over, we want to go out there and what the fuck was going through your head when you was out there shooting quadruple bogey? Like, we want to get that story because it's a lot more interesting than the guy who had a great day. Like, he gonna give you that whole run of the mill bullshit. You know, when a guy who ain't got it go out there and he want to talk to you, that's when you're gonna get a whole lot better and more interesting story, man. So, and that's what this shit is really about, is to tell everybody's story who steps in between the pins, the tee box and the pin on the green, man. So I'm glad you picked that story, man.
Can I spring some on you? I do.
Yeah.
Can we get the first GSH major on the calendar? Because we still haven't golfed one.
The first GSH major on the calendar.
Yeah, I come out there the end of the month and we get a Thursday, Saturday. A Friday, Saturday, Sunday round in. Add up the scores and see who win that thing. Invite the community, the count. Invite everybody we know who in the network. Let them know they gonna be out here. We gonna do the joint and we gonna give out the trophy. You feel me? I feel like we need to choose either like a blazer or like a nice classy trophy for the golf. But I think we should give out a ring blazer, for the fantasy football league, bro.
We gonna do a blazer. It's gonna be fire. For the guy, and then I like the idea of a ring. Yeah, I like that.
Because people might not put a big ass trophy up in their house, but if they got a little office, you can get a little ring case for like $10. We get a nice ring, a little ring case that got a light on it, and it just be engraved with their team name and the cow on one side, cowboy hat on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, we make a little championship ring.
Yeah.
And make sure the ring nice and make sure it's real gold or whatever we make it. You feel me?
Or it can be a belt. And you gotta send it to that nigga. Like, you engrave it on you have a plate on the belt, and each year somebody win, you engrave like their name is like the winner, how they do at the US Open and shit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about when we get to the point to where we got like people from the COWmunity and random people in the league. I'm thinking of one-offs, and like we ain't got to worry about them sending it back or nothing like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you want the belt idea dope, we'll just keep that shit and engrave the team names on it. We'll keep that in our possession. What you think of that?
Okay, then.
And if I win it, I keep it until you win it. And if a different person win it, we engrave their name. But that'll be our shit talking point. I'd be like, nigga, shut up. It's been 7 years since you touched this belt, nigga. You feel me? What you think?
I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Hey, handshake agreement. You start off as commish. From that point forward, the nigga with the belt is commish.
Okay.
Bet. We got to come up with a name for that shit. Figure out the ranch and culture, big text, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, we got to come up with a name for the belt, and that's your title or rank. We ain't gonna call you commissioner. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's a bet. Raise your glass, my G. That's how we bet that, D.
She drank all the wine. We ain't got no more.
Wee!
That's what she came back to tell me. She ain't no more. Ain't no more wine.
I love it.
But so you did not know, this is a wrinkle I threw in the show, that it was the GSH that you chose correlated to the next segment. It was either gonna be a That's a Bet, it was either gonna be a chop session, but you chose the one that prompted a give me some TV. What you been watching, bro?
Hey. Man, I actually done let this familiar I'm talking to talk me into the past 2 shows that I got into, man. I just finished up Stranger Things season 4. Okay. Smacked it all the way up. And I wanted to hate the little redhead to the world end because she was hating on my daughter, little Bobby Brown. But I think her name Millie Bobby Brown or some shit like that. Weird enough.
Millie Bobby Brown. Why does that sound familiar?
It was a story about women accusing a certain rapper of
okay, all right, say less. I know exactly now.
Groom. Yeah. Okay. So that show is good. I told you. It's worth the hype. But the new show, they're like, you should I did. The one I told her she need to check out is Raised by Wolves, you under dig. And she also hadn't seen a movie that used to be my favorite movie, The Prestige. So them two recommendations I'm gonna throw right in your face, COWmunity. If you ain't seen Raised by Wolves by Ridley Scott, the man from Alien, Predator, all that kind of sexy shit, go do that. 2 seasons, HBO Max. Excuse me. And then The Prestige is Wolverine and Batman and Alfred and fucking Black Widow all in one movie by magicians, aka Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, and Michael Caine. But the show, The Umbrella Academy, bruh. Did I tell you about this shit?
Yeah, you told me about it yesterday in the show meeting, but tell the community about it. That they more important than I am.
Bruh, tell me why I was interested in this show from the moment I seen it, right? But then when I went to check it out, like the thing that drew me in, when you look at the little placard, y'all know how y'all do. If you black, you scroll through a movie, a nigga might be in that bitch for 2 minutes, but they gonna show you the one black nigga in the movie as your thumbnail. Then you click on the movie and be like, oh, this shit a white teen movie. They tricked your boy. Who the fuck y'all think y'all is, bro? This ain't that kind of party, and I ain't that DJ. So anyway, I click on Umbrella Academy, no monkey. Okay. 5 minutes in, no monkey. Okay. 15 minutes in, I said, fuck this shit. And I ain't check it for years, right? So she like, oh, check it out. We watching like season 3. And the monkey in like a backroom deal talking to a group of niggas and shit. And I'm like, nah, hold up. This don't make no sense. This monkey wasn't in none of the season. And she's like, man, go back and watch that shit, bro. You get through the first 15 minutes, that monkey in all of season 1, D. G, that nigga be talking. He be doing shit. He smart. Like, I ain't even gonna go into no detail, but like, you get plenty of monkey, man. So if you felt tricked, because you clicked on that bitch and it was a not another nigga teen movie situation. Rest assured, you get plenty of walking, talking ape. And beyond that, it's so much fantastical, little crazy shit in there. And one of my best things that you can give me as a show, because I be liking to clear my mind and shit. You feel what I'm saying? And like get away from a task and shit. Or, so I be watching right before I go to sleep. So I like to let my imagination run. Give me something to figure out. You feel what I'm saying? Give me something to figure out. And I'll share this. No, I ain't gonna share shit. Check it out. I ain't gonna tell you what the shit about for real. This shit crazy. Like, now I say, okay, the Umbrella Academy is a family that is a group of motherfuckers who was born on the same day, but aren't actually siblings. They were all born to women who on that day, when they woke up, were not pregnant. They get pregnant, go into labor, and have those children on the same day. And an eccentric billionaire seeks to adopt as many of those children as he can, and he gets 7 of them. And the Umbrella Academy is the story of those 7, and you follow them on their journey. That's what the first season is about. And it gives you context to all of those things and the ramifications of what that was like. But yeah, man, that's my give me some TV. Umbrella Academy. Check that shit out. I recommend it highly. Pete, what you been watching on TV, G?
Man, I'm highly disappointed in myself. I have fallen for it one more again. They have done it to me. Yet again, they have sucked me in to this damn Game of Thrones series, bruh. House of the Dragon. I fell for it. All the tweets and shit was very, very encouraging from the first episode. So I dove in last Sunday. Not even last Sunday. No, I'm sorry. I watched the first episode on Saturday, I think, and I haven't watched the second episode yet. But first episode was good. Can't even front. It was good. So now I'm watching every episode. I feel like with some amount of trepidation. But they got a black man in there, Lord Cordless. Shout out to him. Shout out to.
They ain't paying us, but go ahead and tell the folk them names so I remember it for the notes.
Yeah, man. They
That's the name of the series, G.
Say it again.
What the name of the show you talking about? You said this Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah, House of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee in that bitch.
Yeah. So it's Daenerys,
Chun-Li, Nicki Minaj.
So yeah, Daenerys family. They back in this thing. You know, it's like it's the prequel to, you know, who they are as a family, how we got to the Daenerys storyline. It's 172 years before her birth is like where we starting at. So I guess it's about what three generations, roughly.
Can I say some silly shit?
What's that?
Bruh, this shit so HD with all that arm hair. I feel like they'd ask me to wear hairnets on my wrist in this bitch. You see this shit? Oh, you pretty hairy too. Look at your hands, nigga.
Yeah, I'm.
He gonna hide him. He gonna hide him, y'all. He had hair all of his here areas.
I got hair on my knuckles. But
you be beating off.
Nah, not necessary for you, boy. But
bro, do you watch Tacoma FD?
No.
Bro, speaking of giving some TV, bro, one of the funniest clips in TV history, bro. This nigga be rescuing this nigga off the top of a building, and they just get to talking about children because he trying to talk him out of suicide and shit. And he tell him he got all boys, and he like, oh, I got all girls. He's like, oh, they say a woman only has a boy when she climaxes during conception. He's like, I don't think I ever heard that. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure about it. The dude who like up there trying to be talked down from unaliving himself. Excuse me for the ignorance of saying the S word earlier, guys. But yeah, like he just started clowning the firefighter. Like it's some of the funniest shit. He was like, nah, I'm pretty sure about that. He was like, I got 3 boys to prove it. You let me know when you figure it out. You feel me? And he told their wife, and she was like, Yeah, nah. But yeah, man. So are you bought in? You gonna keep going on the journey with the guy?
I think I'm gonna keep going, man. I'm gonna keep going. I didn't watch one episode. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna watch the second episode after the show tonight, so I can report on the next week.
That's a bet. I tap in. I make sure we check in on that. That's a good time.
Yeah. You see me rubbing my head over here. I ain't forgave them boys, but they got rid of the other guys though, like the cats who wrote the first, who wrote Game of Thrones. They got it's not Tolkien, George R. Martin. I was about to say Tolkien. But they got George R.
George R. 60s or something.
Oh yeah, Tolkien. Yeah, Tolkien. I think I think
okay.
Tolkien up out of here. Yeah, but George R. R. Martin. He involved.
Give a fuck a little bit less. Why don't you? He said, yeah. Fuck that nigga, boy. He all the way in Mordor.
Yeah, he out here. Yeah, so they
excuse me if I didn't say that books. Right, fellow nerds. I'm a nerd, just not one of them nerds. I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I'm a divergent, allegiant, Elysium type nerd. My apologies.
I think they'll forgive you.
I'm a Lane Trumpeter type nerd. Google Lane Trumpeter. Look up Lane Trumpeter on Amazon Books, Kindle, and all that good stuff. Author, educated at the University of the South Sewanee. He knows how bad. That's for the aliens. I'm trying to match my frequency. Shouts out to Erica Badu. She said some of the realest shit I ever heard in my life. I don't believe it's aliens. Because if it is, why I ain't been abducted? I've been doing all the right shit. I research all the information. I'm cool as a motherfucker. I said, talk your shit, Mama Badu. I love me some her, bro.
That's what's up. That's funny. Also,
beam me up. Just don't probe your boy. You feel what I'm saying? I got plenty of interesting stories
beam
to tell.
Me up.
You feel me?
Square bit. They know them all. But COD.
He said they know them all. They done read. They done cat stand.
COD.
What they do, man?
Can I do you a favor? I don't know why I thought that's your voice. That ain't your voice.
That's about it, because I be like, Pete. So you right in the pocket. Could you, Erie, give me some headlines? I'm looking all over the studio, y'all. Y'all don't know where I'm looking at or where I'm going to go at.
Well, bitty, man. This first story comes from
How
Formula.
y'all like this aesthetic? Should I give him a close-up P? Bring him up into my mug. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, now I'm the same height as you, because I be 4 back. Y'all see my branded hat, because I got swag.
First story coming from Formula1.com. AMP and Formula One announced a brand new Fast and Loose announcement.
We don't got no soundboard, so I'm about to be our soundboard. Police Academy 6 type shit. You with it, P? Shouts out to the COD. I ain't even wait for confirmation.
Yeah, you
go ahead.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know what just happened. Go ahead. I said, I'm going to be our soundboard because we ain't got the soundboard yet.
I got you. So AMP and Formula One announced brand new Fast and Loose radio shows. And I'll tell you why that's relevant if you choose that store. From Yahoo, Marvin Sapp gets candid about using cocaine, pills, and alcohol in the past ahead of film premiere.
We talked about him, didn't we?
We did talk about that last week. You said to keep that story in there.
Okay, my bad.
And from Yahoo, HBCU Go streaming service partners with CBS stations for 2022-2023 college football season. So I'll run back through those. From Formula1.com, AMP and Formula One announced brand new Fast and Loose
you gotta
radio
run back
show.
Through them. We going with Formula One. P been getting into Formula One on the sneak for a couple of years. I blame that white boy with the blonde hair who did that movie Rush. Did you watch that movie?
No.
I didn't either, but I blame him for getting you into that shit. We should watch that for Give Me Some TV in a couple of months or weeks or something when a big race coming up, and then watch the race live and like post it. But yeah, that's the story I'm interested in. You cool with that?
Yeah. We can go with that one. I did not expect you to choose that one, but we're gonna rock with it. So I'll tell you why this one came up. So from Formula1.com, AMP and Formula One announced
tree fantastic, by the way. It's like
brand
fantastic.
new.
I'm reading it out through my nose because I want to taste it twice.
Yeah, wish I had some wine. So AMP, the new live radio app from Amazon, will premiere their new exclusive Formula One program, Fast and Loose, during this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix as part of the brand new partnership with F1. Fast and Loose will include a live and interactive post-race show hosted by actor and comedian Will Arnett, host of Smartless, star of Arrested Development and BoJack Horseman, plus a live simulcast.
Let go Batman. Fuck they talking about.
Yeah. Plus,
if you got some psilocybin, watch Lego Batman on that thing.
Plus a live simulcast show hosted by Michelle Beadle, What Did I Miss? ESPN, and the Kid Mero from Desus and Mero. Mero then got his next job and is with on the Formula One radio show, Fast and Loose.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what you think about that, bro? Like a lot of people go into finding black talent to infuse into these historically non-black sports, and not the Formula One has been dominated by a black guy for the past like 10 years though. Lewis Hamilton shouts out. He got 17. I'm not 17. I'm sorry, 7 like championships over the past decade or whatever.
Things. Yeah, shouts out to Louis Hams. Hearing that man talk about the steering wheel on the F1 will make you feel like you ain't never driven a car. Yeah, have you seen that clip?
I have not.
I'm gonna chop it into the show. I send it to you. But listening to that man explain a steering wheel will blow your fucking mind. And parts of it, he'll just say, "Oh, you're not gonna understand that shit." Moving on, and then he go to some and explain some shit that you are not gonna understand. So it make you think, wait a minute, what that other shit do? Oh, this shit right here is the brake, shift, drive, balance, pressure gauge, and I'm like, what the fuck?
So at the conference,
you can't just press that motherfucker and go burp. You can't just go burp in that bitch. So you going 300 miles an hour and got to think, I only want this many pounds of pressure because I'm trying to decelerate to this speed to come out of this pocket into this lane. Like when y'all hear that might explain the steering wheel, it's gonna blow your mind. But to toss it to you as my answer to what that make you think about? It made me think about you as a motherfucker who already into Formula One. It make me think, does it speak to their black audience? And on a second nature, it make me think of me. Like, yeah, check that out. Selfless. A nigga who like Formula One, but may not watch as many of their products as they would like, who don't spend as much money with their merchandising as they would like.
Yeah.
This ain't drawing me in. Will Arnett and some of the other people, oh yeah. Like y'all heard me yell about Batman and shit. Yeah. But like, I feel like for the black audience, they haven't pulled in. They're not hitting me as a demographic, but I ain't a little young nigga, you feel me? I wasn't watching a Showtime show. So as a nigga who already watching it, speak to, does this make you happy to think, when I'm watching my Formula One, I'm gonna get me some yucks from old diesels, you feel me? And secondly, speak to what you think it'll do for the segment that they're hoping to draw in.
So it honestly don't move the needle for me. I just think it's cool that other people are getting like non-traditional. Like I don't know how involved in Formula One Mero has been in his past, but for him to get this opportunity and to get this nod, like I like to see people of color getting like nods to come into non-traditional like places where there's not that inclusion. It hasn't been historically, and whether it's them making a diversity move or affirmative action or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like that don't really faze me. Like people getting the opportunity, I feel like he's talented. Like he's undeniably talented. And so for him to be in that space, like he's earned his opportunity from the other spaces that he's been in, even if he's not a Formula One guy. And I'm assuming he has some interest in it if he's taking this job. But
do you think
I would rather listen to him than a lot of other motherfuckers who I'm sure I wouldn't listen to another radio show now that he probably does move the needle for me if I decide I'm gonna listen to a radio show that's
May I get you to speak on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing you said about you don't know how knowledgeable he may be about the sport and its history, do you think there's the potential for the growth of the role of that person in sports media who is less knowledgeable and becomes knowledgeable with the audience?
100%.
But is providing something else. Like he's there for comic relief and he'll become knowledgeable. And for the new fans to F1,
they'll grow together.
He's asking these questions, they getting these answers together.
Yeah, they'll grow together. Yeah. Like I feel like that's how I am in the golf space. Like I don't know much about golf, even though I'm enamored by it. I don't know much about it. And like as I grow, I'm just gonna continue to give people content.
Grow into what?
As I continue
just
to grow.
Like I told him, he gonna be the him of surfing, and you gonna be the him of golf.
Stuart Scott.
You goddamn right. As you grow into the Stu Scott of golf.
Stuart Scott is golf.
Transparent about talk your shit.
Yeah,
talk your shit.
Yeah, I can tell you about like I know like most of the club names and shit like that, and I know now like how to if I see a shot go one way or the other, like I can tell you probably why that shit happened and stuff. So like as my knowledge of it grows, I'll be able to talk more about it, and as I play it more, as I watch it more, I'll become more knowledgeable. And like I like to operate from a coaching standpoint, because that's where a lot of my growth comes from being able to teach something. And so, and I know motherfuckers don't like being preached to, and I don't plan on preaching to anybody, but at the same time, like I do definitely want to share my knowledge and have that exchange and to come from a place of I don't know either. Like tell me what you know, and like it's an exchange of institutional knowledge, so we both grow in the game. And it's not coming as an expert because a lot of them experts don't want to listen to anybody from the outside because them motherfuckers feel like they know it all. And I feel like that's where live sports comes from. It's like you got Charles Barkley who's enamored with golf, but he's a professional. He's an expert at basketball. He may not be an expert at golf, he's just a huge fan of it. And so as his knowledge grows and having to learn about the game as he's commenting on the game, then he'll always be able to provide that commentary. He'll always be able to provide that comment relief. He'll always be able to provide a whole bunch of personality. But what he may not have right now is that know-how, because and he'll be able to talk about his journey through golf. Like when you saw him and how he was swinging 10 years ago versus how he's swinging now, he's obviously come he's had a journey. So yeah, I definitely like I love folks being in that space, man. And I care about this sport, or I care about this thing, and I'm gonna talk about what I know thus far. And as I'm growing in it, I'm just gonna like, cause this is like a lot of people talk real bad about 21 Savage when he started rapping, and he kept rapping, and we sitting up here 7 years, 5, 6, 7 years later, and he a whole lot better than he was when he started because he kept going. So I'm all for that shit. I'm all for it. 100%.
Yeah. It's funny how everybody had a little moment of revelation in their career. Like Rick Ross used to be a CO. This nigga moment of revelation is this nigga English? That's a funny ass moment they thought they was gonna cripple that man, bro. They thought they was gonna cripple that man. Like I'm a hood nigga from Atlanta. They had like we was gonna be like, oh no. This nigga I seen on Glenwood with the knife tattooed on his face, this nigga ain't real. What the fuck? Like
have people not been to England? Like, do y'all know? Like, have y'all like people who say, "Oh, he ain't real"? Like, have you been to London? You must not have been to London because them cats over there not nothing to fuck with either.
If you'd been to England, you'd understand why it was a knife tattooed on his face. Hello.
Like, he killing you from point blank. Like, it's a knife.
Yeah. That's why he's slapping niggas out with the fire. He used to have to get up close and personal with that thing. If but yeah, them young niggas will poke you up good in England.
Put a few holes in you. I saw it today. I ain't gonna talk about that. I don't like to talk about violence like that. But it was a cat it was an ex-boyfriend who tried to break into somebody's house. Pops was there. He was not having it. Sent that boy to the upper room. Ex-boyfriend tried to break into a house, went to kick in the door. The ring had him. Like, he was hitting that thing, and Pops was like, oh no. Send that boy to the upper room.
That's a damn shame.
Crazy. But C.O.D.
Yes, sir.
Can I do you a favor?
Today I'll do a couple good
Give me some headlines.
Or
tell me something good.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. Y'all see this fucking Nat trying to join the show? Not my wine, not this time.
This week's TSG comes from two sources. The first source is C.O.D. Decatur Boy Music at Decatur Boy Music on your IG. And the second source And the reason for me talking in this tone is when I looked up the story, NPR had written about it. So I'll be doing this story from the NPR perspective. From NPR, outside of Atlanta, Black families are buying land to create a safe haven. 19 Black families have purchased land south of Atlanta for a future city called Freedom. They envision it as a safe haven built by them, for them, and for other Black families. Just under 9,000 people in Wilkinson County, 2 hours southeast of Atlanta. It's one of those places, almost that cliche of small town America. Tierra Thomas. All of us pretty much know each other around here. So, Fidel, I noticed that. I feel like everybody says hello and they're hugging. Laughter. And so they go on through that story. I ain't want to continue that part of the story, but yeah, so my dog C.O.D brought this story to my attention, and this is something that we have talked about, not ad nauseum, but we've discussed buying land for the purpose of building something new and something fresh, and owning our own shit and building our own shit. And here, my dog reached out to me and let me know that 19 families in the Georgia area are already executing on the vision, on a similar type of vision that we have, and they are buying land. I think it was about, I forget, I think it might have been 90 something acres that they purchased so far. 96, I think 96, 97 was there was no real consensus, but 96, 97 is there, which is a lot of fucking land. And they are building this, starting off with this town called Freedom. It's going to be called Freedom, Georgia. And since my dog brought us this story out, yeah, go ahead.
They don't like when people start to make shit like that cool. And while I did send my brother this, it was so that I could put on my conspiracy brother hat real quick and say to my brothers and sisters that if you don't take your third eye, you understand me? Oh, Lord, they trying to hate on your boy. They don't want to let me see my hat. Where my hat at? Bow. Where my hat at? They gonna let me put my hat on, cuz. They gonna let me put my hat on. They some haters, duck. They some haters, duck. We'll go to this if we got to, duck. I'm gonna put my hat on. Bow. Yeah. Google Young Thug and 1,000 acres. He ain't that far from Atlanta with the property he was purchasing. Well, already owns. You'd be surprised at why some of the things that happen and why the timing is what it is. You understand me? You understand me, Pete? That's all I'm going to say. Shouts out to Thugger.
Oh, I thought
we... YSL, cuz. That's all I had to say. You understand me? That's all I had to say. Yeah.
You gonna tell me the rest of it?
Oh, no. I'm just telling people go look up Young Thug. I told you a little bit of this shit. I'ma just tell niggas what to go research, and I ain't gonna give no interpretation. Because then I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a nigga who give people facts. Because he bought that land. And he had these intentions for that land. He got arrested a couple months later. That is not conjecture.
Man. So make sure. That's just funny. But yeah, man. So these folks, you purchase this land.
It's crazy. I appreciate you for tolerating my nonsense. You feel?
South Atlanta. And they are building the city, man, for the people, by the people, away from them people, them alphabet people. But yeah, man, this has been. That ain't my job. That ain't what I do.
Shouts out to my brother Pete for telling us some good on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Coming to y'all live on a Wednesday night. I was say it's Monday night. But anyway, whether it's opportunity, inspiration, or a place to feel like home, we here give me some headlines. Believe that your intention, no matter wherever it is that you roam, should be to find a way for your impact on others to be that you give more than you receive.